Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to the Citytilidie channel as we look back. It's a big match review today. We're going to look back at Aston Villa 1, Manchester City 2. Whew. Hey, there you go. It was a little bit closer than I thought it would be, but yeah, 8:15 p.m. it was played at Villa Park in Aston there in Birmingham, 21st of April 2021. So join me as well, the match analysis. No Phil Banerjee today, but please check out, I'm sure I'm doing this a little bit earlier, but please check out his match report. I'm sure he'll put one on Facebook later on, Phil Banerjee, so please do that. That'll be fantastic. So you got my little pros today for the goals, so there you go. You'll have to suffer. There you go. It's all my fault. Yeah, so other analysis, match stats, my little ratings, the Manchester Evening News ratings. There's certainly one player we certainly had vastly differing marks on, that's for sure, with me and Simon Bukowski. Of course, the quirky stats, there's a few good ones today. And any conclusions we can make for Villa and for ourselves as well as we move on regardless. Please, if you're new to this channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications. Please check out all my City stuff, old and new, past and present, quizzes, lots of different things. And you'll also see film and TV stuff, so if that's of any interest to you, please have a look at that as well. I do film reviews, drama reviews, information vlogs, etc, etc. So please, if you want a little break from football, have a look at that. I try and inform and entertain on there as best I can as well. So please check that out, and please, all followers and friends, if you're just starting out or you want some more friends or followers on Facebook and Twitter, just seek me out. And I do check every 2-3 days and follow and friend everyone back on there, and I post loads of stuff obviously on there, some humorous, some serious. Well, we've had an interesting week, haven't we? Yeah, some serious and humorous, but there you go. And please, any comments, all your comments are welcome. And please don't forget the live show. I'm going live at the moment, just once a week. I might do ad hoc ones as well, depending on my circumstances. I do have to work full time as well, so it's not always easy to get on after games and stuff like that. Certainly night games when I've got to be up for work and stuff like that. But please check that out. But every Monday from 5 p.m. British Standard Time, I'll aim to do an hour and a half show just on City, just what's going on with City. So please keep your eyes out for that. And if you like what we see, please give us a thumbs up. It's nice to get views, but it's nice to get thumbs up as well. Right, the match, here we go, the officials. Well, do we really want to speak about him, do we? I mean, Mr. Peter Bonks, that's what I call him, and that's what I'll always call him. I'm not calling him Banks, I'm calling him Bonks. Peter Bonks, even worse after last night, but there you go. Peter Bonks is a referee, is Lionels, Neil Davis and Harry Leonard. Fourth official was Mr. Anthony Taylor, got a little bit of earache last night. I'm sure he had earplugs in when Pep was having a go. On VAR, we had the Gillette Blade Company, didn't we? Jared Gillette, or Gillet, or however you pronounce that. I think he's from Australia, guys. A few people were asking last night, weren't they? Assistant VAR, we had Stephen Child on that. Yeah, I don't know what they do apart from make the tea, I suppose. I'm not too sure. Right, City starting lineup, 8 changes to the Chelsea game. No surprise there. Ederson, Walker, Zinchenko, Diaz, Stones, Rodri, Gundogan as captain, Bernardo, Foden, Jesus and Mahrez. And on the subs bench, not as stunning as perhaps other subs benches have been over the time. Stefan Ake is okay. Laporte is okay. Mendy, Cancelo can be okay. Garcia, Fernandinho, legend. Sterling, sort of, never, not recently. And Torres, okay, needs time. Right, so there we go. Villa, just to throw in the Villa team. Martinez, Cash, Konza, Mings, Target, McGinn, Douglas Luiz, Nakamba, Traore, Watkins and Ramsey. I got 10 right, and even the one I got wrong, I did say that I did put Laporte in there instead of Diaz, but I only said that was if Diaz needed a rest, so I would have preferred Diaz alongside Mr. Stones. So that's not bad, is it? 10. I'll call that 10.5. What do you think? Do you think I was all right there with that one? And I had my definite non-starters as Sterling, Mendy and Torres, so thankfully that came true. I'm not too sure about when we played Tottenham, no, but hey, we'll talk about that on another vlog. Yeah, pre-match social media talk, bugger all really. It was all about, obviously still commenting about the ESL and the letter of apology that we'd had over emails from our chairman, etc., or CEO, whoever it is. Now I lose track of all these men in suits, you know, that's CEO. So yeah, not much apart from that. And nice holiday pictures for Mr. Steve McInerney. It's nice, isn't it? Nice when you can have a break, but hey, there you go. Match summation and stats. Here we go, the first 45 minutes, 20 seconds, yeah, 20 seconds. I think it's a joint quickest, was it? 1-0, not to us though, to Villa. To say City, this is me now, not Phil Banerjee, there you go. To say City were caught napping is very appropriate. Bonks, who was pretty awful for this, the referee, and most of the game, awarded Villa a free kick just near the halfway line for an apparent high boot. I wasn't too convinced about that, to be honest with you. But all credit to Villa, who took it quickly through Mings. Stones lost for pace. Yeah, he was beaten again. That happened the other day, didn't it? Lost for pace by an energetic Ollie Watkins down that wing. He was just flailing. I think he got a boot to it, but couldn't sort of get a good enough boot to put it out for a throw-in or a corner. And obviously Watkins carried on, and luck favoured him a little bit as his sort of low cross went straight through Diaz's legs. It could have got anywhere, but there you go. And Zinchenko was a yard or two behind Mr. McGinn, and he just sort of glanced it past Ederson. Was he at fault? I'm not 100% sure. He looked a bit slow, but I think he took it so well. I think Ederson was just totally like the team, caught totally unaware. So I may be being a bit harsh on Ederson, a bit harsh on Zinchenko, who hadn't closed McGinn down very well, and certainly harsh on Stones. No blame on Diaz. At least I think he escaped it. You can't do anything when it goes between your legs and you're running. It's just one of those things. That's just pot luck. But there you go, 1-0 down. Not great. I felt a bit shattered at the time. I know we had 89 minutes plus injury time to get it back, but yeah, my old glass half full sort of came into being at that stage. I was panicking just a little bit, which I shouldn't do, should I? We've got a good team, but hey, you never know. 5 minutes, yeah, Walker blocked. I mean, there could have been two, couldn't it? Louis' effort. He sort of hit Walker. He didn't know much about it. Got trapped in his legs. Unfortunately, Ederson pounced on it to save it, but that could have been 2-0 after 5 minutes, but fortunately it wasn't. 20 minutes, keeper Martinez does well from a Mahrez effort. Yeah, he was sort of slightly unsighted wanting. It was a good hit by Mahrez, but no, the keeper did very, very well to save to his left. 22 minutes, it was 1-1, wasn't it? Fantastic. So over to me. Great passing play in the build-up. Zinchenko does well to control the ball. Was it a long ball from Ederson? I sort of missed the link-up on that one. I think it may have been a long raking ball from Ederson. He controlled it with his chest, played it back nicely to Foden, who picked out Mahrez in space on the edge of the box, whose perfect time pass found the overlap Bernardo. Old style City, this, isn't it? Fantastic. Who beautifully, I mean, that was a suit with his, beautifully found Foden, who was now in the box after being involved in the earlier play, who calmly side-footed it home with his weaker right foot, so that was good to see. And I noticed Bernardo use his right foot a couple of times as well. So overall, a superb build-up and a great goal, and we were well worth a 1-1 at that time. 24 minutes, Foden was wide after beating about 6 players in the box. I thought, everyone's comparing him to Messi this morning. I did say, no, Foden's Foden, he's not Messi, but if that had gone in, well, that would have been fantastic, with the Villa players scared of tackling him, and he just got in that box and just hit it wide. Just that little bit of composure was needed. Unfortunately, he hit it wide. 28 minutes there. Villa had the net rustling, didn't they, at City's end, but fortunately it went into the side netting. Perhaps he could have done better with it, but yeah, easy. Ederson wasn't panicking too much as it hit the side netting. 40 minutes, yeah, there it is. 2-1. Surely game over now once we go in the lead against Villa, who didn't quite do much after that first few minutes. They don't quite clear a corner. Gundo sort of wins it on the edge. I mean, the Villa player was a bit weak, but Gundo manages to win it from 30 yards and passes out to Mahrez, who again lays it on with a Bernardo there on the, fantastic game, Bernardo, last night. He had plenty of space, didn't he, just inside the edge of the box. He just shifted a little bit to one side to allow his left foot cross. But what a goal. I mean, Rodri rose like a proverbial salmon, didn't he, to glance that header in. Mings was beaten. He was sort of between the two. It was just too high for Mings. Rodri glanced it. The keeper would start to come, but he was nowhere near it. Even if he'd stayed on his line, he probably wouldn't have got to it anyway. And Rodri rose like said, that proverbial Sam David Watson-like to glance it home with Mings beaten and Martinez nowhere. Yeah, a long time since I've reported on a Rodri's rocket header. I think I've still got the images, but I won't put them up there. I used to have a bit of fun with Rodri's rockets, but there you go, a Rodri rocket header. But well done you, mate. Fantastic. 42 minutes, Stones off after first being booked, wasn't it? I mean, was it right? Yeah, I think so. It's It's unfortunate. He did go for the ball, but by the rules of the law now, I think once a referee, once Mr. Bonks was going over, I think a yellow card would have been fair without VAR, and no one would have perhaps batted too much of an eyelid because he did go for the ball, but it was obviously foul play. It was a dangerous play, whatever they call it, wasn't it? And I think we got the benefit of that against Leeds, even though we didn't take advantage last week. So yeah, it's fair enough. But yeah, even at 2-1. They didn't do much, Villa, for the last 4 or 5 minutes. There's a bit of injury time, wasn't there? But yeah, Gundogan got a yellow, didn't she, as well, for touching the ref? I think he went like that on him, and obviously that's a yellow. That's a yellow card these days. You can't do that now, can you? So 2-1 half time. I wrote at half time here we should still be good enough to win this. Get Jesus off and Laporte on, and be positive. Villa didn't look great apart from the goal. I didn't think they did. So that was my half time thoughts. Obviously at the start of the second half, Laporte on, Jesus off. So I'm no oracle. I think most people said it. 50 minutes. Gundogan almost finds Mahrez, but the cross was cut out on the 6-yard box. I mean, at 3-1 at that stage, and even with 10 men, surely it would have been game over. 57 minutes, yeah, well, we get it evened up, won't we? I mean, we'd give a backhand, we'd give a brown envelope to Mr. Cash at half-time, I think, because very quickly after fouling Mr. Foden, he does it again, and there's no arguments. It's a second yellow card. He's got to be off, so at least Bonk's got that right. So, yeah, I mean, unbelievable. So that was sort of, should have been really game over, shouldn't it? 10 men each. I mean, we did take a little bit of time to settle down, though. We did to having 10 versus 10. I must admit, it did take City a few minutes because it still looked as though Villa were in the ascendancy when that happened. But yeah, it soon wore off, and obviously tiredness started to creep in. 65 minutes of Zinchenko shot iron wide. Zinchenko, forget it, mate. If you're playing, just pass it, please. You're not Vinny. 75 minutes. A City break, yeah. 4-on-3. Mahrez ran into a bit of trouble. I think we had 4-on-3 at one stage. Should have done better, but again, he did a bit of a Sterling-esque thing. He likes to bring it back inside, doesn't he? Once he brought it back inside, defenders had got back, and it sort of came to nothing. I think Bernardo was shouting for it. A bit disappointing, as I say. That could have just confirmed it again. 85 minutes, Mahrez had another chance, but was blocked for a corner. I think from a couple of minutes after, Bernardo high and wide. That was again a nice effort, but just get it on target. He didn't quite keep it down enough, did he, on 88 minutes? 90 minutes, I mean, as the game's petering out, Villa not offering too much. Fernandinho came on just to kill it off, kill a bit of time. Mahrez went off, and the 3 minutes injury time passed with City just holding on to the ball, basically. Yeah, ref watch. I mean, I have given 4 out of 10. I nearly didn't mark him like I don't sometimes, but I'll give him 4 out of 10 for the... As I say, I don't think there's a lot he could do about the Stones thing when he's got a chance to rewatch it in slow motion, which is what they do, which isn't really fair, is it, to be honest with you? But that's how it is, and it works for us, it works against us. And all credit to him, he had the balls to send Cash off as well. So I'll give him a 4 out of 10. It's not to say it's well down on what he should be, but overall I thought it was very hesitant and a very poor referee, to be honest with you, very poor. I think he should stay on VAR. I don't think he's that much better on there, but at least he's more or less out of harm's way on something. At least he's got technology to help him there, hasn't he? Match stats: shots 8 by Villa, 3 on target, 13 by City, 3 on target. Possession, yeah, 73% for City. Passes, 299 for Villa, 798 by City. Accuracy, 79% by Villa, which is a little bit down on their average, but about right. And 92% for City. With that more space, obviously, in that second half, I think that was about 90% at half time. More space to move into in that second half. Once we got a grip of it, and once we got used to playing with 10 men against 10 men, yeah, we did improve. So that was 92%. Corners, just 1 for Villa, 11 for City. Fouls, 12 by Villa, 7 for City. So now overall against Aston Villa, we've played 79 times at their place. We've won 19, drawn 24, lost 36, scored 93 and had 133 against us. Right, on to the player ratings. I'll tell you Mr. Bukowski's thoughts and rating, then I'll just add my little 2 pennyworth at the end. I'm going to start at 6.5 today, so if I thought player did better, he'll get higher. If I thought player did worse, he'll get lower. So here we go. Ederson, another game without a clean sheet. He slowed the game down well after the red card when City needed him to. He did. And his boot up the field started to fold and go. Yeah, I thought he may have done. He's given him a 7. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 7. I think he was worth half a point. As I said, the goal, could he have had it? Could he have not? I'm being a bit harsh, but perhaps he should have been a little bit smarter. But there you go, a little bit quicker reflexes. But I mean, there's no harm in. I mean, I used to, you know me, I'm not. I can't compare myself to Edison by any means, but that's the sort of thing you could save with your feet. And he's not really a feet-saving keeper, is he? If you think about it, that's the sort of thing I would have saved with my left foot, for instance, sticking it out to save it. But Edison doesn't have that seem to have that capability, which is fair enough. He's more a keeper, he's more a hands-on. He's great with his feet, but for saving, he's more hands. He doesn't really think of trying to save with his feet, and perhaps that could have been saved with his left foot if you think about it. And that's probably how I would have attacked that sort of goal thing. But anyway, I think he's worth half a point. That's his style, isn't it? I mean, he's far better than me at pinging it across the field. Well, only just. Walker, right, Shobai is currently the first choice right back with his know-how coming to the fore. Ambitious going forward and kept motivating his teammates. Yeah, 7. He's given a 7, Simon. I'll give him a 7. Yep, experience counts, and he did. He wasn't perfect by any means. He wasn't fantastic, but that's the sort of games you need. You need a gritty Walker, as long as he doesn't do anything stupid, which is always possible, isn't it? Stones started badly by being caught out for the goal within 30 seconds and got worse when he was 20 seconds and was sent off before half time. A horror show in what has been an otherwise vintage season. Yeah, we'll have a little word about Stones later on. Simon's given him a 3. I'm not giving him less than Mr. Bonks. I'll give him a 4. I'll give him a 4, but not good. We'll have a word on him in a moment. Diaz improved after a rocky start, slow bringing Carb to the back line and showing caution to only lunge in when the ball was there to be won. So he's given him a 7. I totally agree with that. I'll give Diaz a 7 as well. He was solid enough at the back there to try and make up for Stones. Zinchenko off colour, beaten for a goal, and had Guardiola spitting feathers when he ducked to let a ball go over his head. Yeah, I have no idea what he was doing there in the second half. Only see it's collected by a Villa attacker. He wasn't even anywhere near going out. Well, you know, the Villa player got it quite easily. So he's given him a 5. Yeah, I'll have to echo that. He improved a little bit, but that start of the game, you know, he's giving things away and messing things up, to be honest with you. So I'll give him a 5 as well. Rodri, a goal always helps, especially when it gets your team out of the tight spot. Filled in briefly at centre back, kept everything ticking over nicely. Yeah, he did. Simon just gave him a 7. I'm going to give him 7.5. He's got to be worth a point extra just for the goal. I know he wasn't, you know, obviously, again, his involvement was up and down, but I'll give him a 7.5. I think he deserves that at least. Gundogan led, and this is where me and Simon disagree a little bit. Gundogan led his team on a rare outing as captain. He did. Well, I agree with that. His touch was sharp throughout. I don't think so. And he helped set the tempo. Crisp flowing football that got the Blues back in control of the game. He's given an 8. I've only given him a 6. I've given him less than the average. I think he was okay. He did a lot, but there's a lot. He made a lot of mistakes. He passed that ball to the Villa players far too often. You can't do that at this level of football. Certainly not when we come to play teams like PSG, etc. So I was a bit disappointed with Gundogan. Let me know what you think. Anyways, I just saw some bad things yesterday, and he did. Don't get me wrong, he did some good things as well, but I think we need a little bit more from him, in my opinion. Bernardo probably couldn't believe he's looking at space he was allowed to operate, took full advantage with 2 lovely assists he did. He's given him an 8. I'm going to give him an 8. I mean, looking back now, I may have given him an 8.5, but I've done it here. I've wrote it on the graphic, so I'll give him an 8. But a great performance by Bernardo last night. Mahrez, another one who enjoyed driving at the gaps. Yeah, not 200% with Simon on this one either. In the Villa third left for him and continued his excellent form. A master of the glide into the box before laying it off his shoulder for an on-rushing teammate. Yeah, he's given him an 8. I mean, I give him a 7. I'll give him better than average, but I think he could have done a little bit better with 1 or 2 things, especially that one that I said when we had 4 on 3. But I'll give him a good 7, which is half a point more than the average. So, yeah, he was all right, Mahrez, but I think he could have done a lot better. Foden, like Mahrez, he needs to play in every big game between now and the end of the season. Yeah, probably agree with that. And Menis all right, and an important goal. City would have been better off getting him to send the Super League apology to fans. Well, there you go. 9 out of 10. Yeah, you know me. I'm not overly. If he has a great game, I'll give him 8.5, and that's what I'll give him. And not everything came off, but what a fantastic game he had. Some of that control was sublime, obviously, and some of it was ridiculous. So it can be the same thing, can't it? But there you go. Not everything came off, but a skillful, wonderful nuisance. Jesus pressed well and hard in the first half. Yeah, I didn't really notice him that much, which was missed once. He was substituting a sacrifice for Stones. Yeah, so I'm going to have to give him the average. I'm going to give him 6.5. Simon's giving him 7, but I'll just give him my team average of 6.5. He didn't have much chance, did he? But as I said, he was there. So that's all we can say. Laporte for Jesus. Yeah, he played half a game, didn't he? Dealt with everything that came his way to ensure a quiet second half of the defence. Stones has opened the door for him to Wembley and Palace. Absolutely, you're probably right there, mate. Certainly one of the games. I'm not sure of what the suspension position is with Stones now. Someone said he'll just miss the final, it'll be okay for PSG, but I have no idea. 7 from Simon Filiporta. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I'll give him half a point extra as well, 7. And of course, Fernandinho came on for Mahrez, but far too late to give him a mark. So my Citizen man of the match, there he is up there. Only just, yeah, because Bernardo was fantastic last night. But I'll have to give it Phil. I'll have to give it for his overall tenacity and being a pain in the bum, which is what he was, and some sublime skill, as I said, and some ridiculous skill. But Bernardo was the same, some fantastic stuff from Bernardo. But I nearly give a joint one, but I'll just give it Phil, but all credit to Bernardo as well. Post-match quirky stats up to Joe. John McGinn's goal after 20 seconds is the second quickest goal Manchester City have conceded in Premier League history. Bloody hell. After Alan Shearer, there you go, for Newcastle in January 2003, scored after 10 seconds. 10 seconds, what took you so long, Alan? Only Kevin De Bruyne has been directly involved in more goals in all competitions, 24, for Manchester City this season than Phil Foden, who's now 23, 14 goals, 9 assists. You go, Phil. John Stones has been sent off for the first time in his Premier League career, and what is his 182nd appearance in the competition. Thankfully, it didn't come back to bite us in the bum. That was the 6th foul he's conceded in the league in 20 games this season. But yeah, a bit more on John in a minute. No player has scored more goals in all competitions before turning 21 for Pep than Phil Foden, 29, level with Bojan, B-O-J-A-N. Stat City, Rodri has scored more goals against Aston Villa 2 than against any other single opponent for City. Not the greatest stat, but it's a quirky stat. Phil Foden has now scored 29 goals for City in all competitions, the same amount Robbie Fowler and Paolo One Chop scored for the club. Man City have won their last 7 matches in a row against Aston Villa. This is their best ever such run against the Villains. Yeah, the Villains. That's the nickname, by the way, the Villains. We should all know all these nicknames, and we should have one nickname, not carry on doing different ones. It's not right, or spell them differently. Conclusion, yeah, an odd, crazy game. Entertaining in its own way. Far nervier than it needed to be, certainly for me anyway. I mean, but as I said, I get nervous when we're 4-0 up with 10 minutes left, so there's no surprise there. Aston Villa, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, they gave us a great game at the Etihad, didn't they? I sort of forgot that when I was doing the preview. I'd try to look back at the last away game. I don't tend to look at the home game, even though it might have been the last time we played. Well, I do, but, you know, it doesn't come to the fore of my mind. And, yeah, they gave us a flipping good game that time, didn't they, at the Etihad? And they did all right last night. As I say, I think we would have been all right second half, but I think they could have... there was signs there, even with 10 men, that they perhaps, were doing okay. And I think that, as I say, they'll be quite happy with this season. Of course, they're going to miss someone like Grealish. But all credit to him for that early goal. It was far too early, wasn't it? They needed that in the 91st minute, didn't they? Something like that to score at 0-0. But that was never going to happen. So all credit to him. And it was always going to be interesting how they went about the second half. But Mr. Cash put paid to that, didn't he? The plum as far as Mr. Smith's concerned. And I think it was positive with his subs as well. And that's what, at least Dean Smith, I'm not his biggest fan, but at least he was popular with the substitutions he made. So I think they're doing all right. I think Mr. Smith and Villa are quite a good match at the moment. And it wasn't to say there's a couple of slung-in crosses, but apart from that, they didn't perhaps say without Grealish, he didn't create much to worry us that much. Douglas Luiz didn't impress me overly much. I don't know what sort of role. Obviously, he's a DM, isn't he, sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, the mid-table are they now, Aston Villa? So just have a look at the top of the table there. Yeah, so they're about 10, 11, 12. So I can't see him moving much from that position. I can't see him dropping any further down. And they've done well after last season, haven't they? Let's be honest about it. So all credit to Villa. I think you've done very, very well. You give us 2 good games, 2 tough games, and say, a bit crazy this one in one way or the other. But there you go. All credit to Villa. Well done, lads. And City, yeah, as I said in my thumbnail there, the header, from the sublime to the ridiculous and back again. Ridiculous in a good way, ridiculous in a bad way. Sublime only in a very good way. I mean, they do know how to put us through it, don't they? I was confident we'd be okay with 10 men at half time, as you saw there from what I wrote. But once we both went down to 10, we did struggle. I think City. I think we did, because I did comment on Twitter that I know Mancini and Pellegrini, when we had 10 men under them guys, we looked okay. We always looked okay in games, but I think it's not happened often with Pep, has it? But certainly the last time I remember, was it the Wolves game? I think it was that the last time we went down to 10 men. It's a long time ago. while ago. I'm surprised some of the stats didn't come out with that quirky stats, but there you go. Yeah, so we never quite look as good. I don't think Pep likes 11 men on the pitch. I don't think his philosophy and his plans really work too well when we've only got 10 men on the pitch. So I did comment on Twitter that we did look far more. We always looked as though, like the Hull City, remember Hull City game with Vinny getting sent off. We always looked far comfortable in the older days with Mancini and Pellegrini. We went down to 10 men than we do under Pep. Although, as I said, it's not happened very often. So I'm just doing it based on a couple of games, or maybe even be 3 games, but certainly a couple. So yeah. But we did, as I say, I was still confident, certainly at half-time. As I say, I think if it stayed 10 against 11, it would have been interesting. I think we probably would have got one on the break. We nearly got a couple on the break as it was. But, yeah, I mean, we've got the people, we've got the ball players, haven't we? As long as, say, we don't need rushes of blood, which occasionally we get. We don't need that. And, you know, you don't need these little passes that are a bit dodgy just when you're comfortable on the ball and then you just misplace a pass. But it's bound to happen when you have 700, 800 passes in a game. You're not going to hit them all spot on here. But, yeah, we've kept mainly calm. The odd brain fart here and there. But fortunately, Villa equalled us for that, so that wasn't too bad. As far as the players, yeah, I just want to isolate a couple. I don't want to pick particularly on them. I mean, Zinchenko went through this phase where he just exasperated Pep, didn't he, and caused him to hold his head in his hands. And it had another one of those games yesterday. So I have a feeling Zinchenko, after working his way back into Pep's good books, might be due another little rest again, and perhaps this will be a chance for Cancelo and certainly Laporte as well to re-establish, obviously allowing for whatever suspension John Stones has got along that back line, if you like. And even Mendy may even get a goal, which, let's face it, I didn't want to see him anywhere near the team. But hey, it would be interesting to see what this lineup for the Tottenham game will be. But yeah, so I think Zinchenko might be in a little bit of trouble, but no wonder, because he wasn't great last night. He's only, as far as Stones and Zinchenko, obviously they were our best players, worst players. On to Stones, yeah, I mean, I think ironically struggled since his era for England, hasn't he? I think that's been the death knell for his form. His decision-making today was poor. His decision-making, I think, against Chelsea was poor. Again, he didn't cover himself in glory for that one. I think Diaz did it against Chelsea, didn't he? And I think Stones, they just try and get a toe to it, but they actually commit themselves to being grounded, so they're not going to get up and do anything. And Stones did exactly the same as Diaz did against Chelsea, I think. I think I'm right in saying that. And that's a scary chance to take. If it works, if it comes off, if he slides, gets a boot to it, and it goes to Ederson, fantastic. Or it goes out for a throw or a corner. But it's playing the percentages, isn't it? And unfortunately, the last 2 games we've lost that, haven't we? So hopefully it'll go for us again. But yeah, as I say, it's a confidence thing with John Stones, because that foul, if you take the foul later, he didn't do too much wrong, but he was just clumsy. As then I always thought my problem with John Stones is he always tries to be too calm. Sometimes he needs to panic a little bit more. That sounds daft when he's just took a player out, but I think he does do that. I think he's far too calm and thinks he can make up ground that he can't make up. It's funny, isn't it? I mean, I've not played at any sort of level like that, but I used to do the same. I used to be quite confident. Sometimes I'd do things more calmly than I should do. Sometimes I should have just panicked. And Ederson has that in a way sometimes, doesn't he? Ederson, rather than stay calm, rather than panic, he'll just stay calm thinking he can get himself out of it. And I think Stones fell into that trap yesterday. To say he was a bit slow reacting to danger, so he obviously tries to commit and look calm and soak it up and win it back, but it doesn't quite work all the time. But it is a worrying sign, because he's not been great the last 2 or 3 games since that England debacle. So as I said, he got his confidence back because he did an assist as well, didn't he? But he needs something like that at the moment. It's a worrying sign that John might go back. He needs to be man-managed, doesn't he? He needs a hand on his shoulder. He needs that confidence. He needs a psychologist, perhaps, to work with him and get him back up again, because we really need that Stones-Diaz partnership. Or to say, Laporte and Diaz is not a total disaster by any means, but and even Aki's there, is he? Don't forget as well. You forget about Aki, but he may get. I think he may get a game this weekend. But yeah, so. yeah, let's see with Stones. I say it's a bit early to start panicking, but it is just a little worrying sign. Let me know what you think anyway. Let me know about what you think about the game today and your player ratings. You want to leave them? That'd be fantastic. So thanks for joining me again, guys. I'll be back with a preview, of course. I'm back with the history boys of Spurs versus City in the League Cup. Not great reading actually, and I'll be back, of course, with a preview of the Spurs City game for the Carabao Cup final. I do little features on. I don't know if you watch it, Manchester Live at all. They asked me to do little 2-minute vlogs on there. So if you do tune in, give us, whatever you can do. Can you let them know that, you're happy with it? If you can tune in, I can't get it on my TV. I have no idea why. But so if you do tune in on Freeview TV to Manchester Live and they do a football thing, and they've asked me to do a little preview of this Tottenham game coming up. So join me on there as well. And if you can do a tick or whatever you do on them things, or just say to them, oh, that guy's fantastic. I'll love that. So if you could. But anyway, as I say, it's not something I can get on my TV, and I have no idea why. But so that's just an interesting thing if any of you ever go on that. Anyway, Manchester Live, when they do the little football stuff on, assuming they do City and United, and obviously it's based in Liverpool. Actually, it's Liverpool Live, the guy I do it for. But obviously they must look after the Manchester channel as well. So look out for those previews and the History Boys. And of course, that was the week that was for the Chelsea and Villa game. So look out for that little family-friendly quiz as well. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. Whatever you're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. I'll be there at Wembley as long as I pass my COVID test. So I'll try and get some pictures sent or something. I'm not going to start interviewing all that sort of thing. That's not my game. But if I spot anyone of interest, I'll try and get on their camera or whatever they're doing while I'm there. As I say, I've got to pass a test to get on the bus, the coach yet. The Charabang, I've got to pass a test to get on there. So you never know, do you? But fingers crossed, everything will be all right. I'm going to have that on Saturday. And hopefully, I have had a test early in the week, and that was fine. So, yeah, fingers crossed. It is a bit, it is a bit stressful, but hopefully I'll be on the coach. I'll be at Wembley, and I'll be able to report back to you after the game as well. And as I say, I may do a live thing, but I can't really do stuff from Wembley because I don't have 1,000 subscribers, so I'm not limited to what I can do live anyway. So because I've only got my phone with me. So anyway, keep your eyes out anyway. But thanks for watching. Please, as I said, whatever you're going to do rest day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look at your family. More importantly, let's all look after each other till we meet here again on the Citizen channel. Or you have a flit across, have a look at my film and TV channel. I only ever ask you to please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. It's our Carabao Cup. It's nobody else's, it's ours. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.